Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So this actually dropped yesterday, and I was half asleep, well, falling asleep. I needed some rest, so I didn't really want to do a video on this straight away. So I am late on this. I get it, but I'm still going to throw in my 2 cents. But if you've already heard about this and you don't want the rundown of it, don't worry, just click off the video, it's fine. But this is about TMZ filing an emergency motion to block someone who used to work for them testifying in court. Basically, revealing who gave them the video. Well, basically, who gave them the video, who let them know things were happening. Essentially, it's just going to blow the whole lid on Amber Heard's BS testimony. We know, like, it's so unfathomable to believe that it didn't come from Amber Heard or someone associated with her. A video recorded directly on her phone miraculously disappears from her phone and ends up on TMZ. And it wasn't her? Behave. Come on. Pull the other one, as we'd say in the UK. You're clearly having a joke, aren't you? So let's take a look at this, because this is... I think this is almost like an admission by proxy. Do you know what I mean? It's an admission through silence. No, we can't testify. We can't testify, no. Like, I wonder why. Come on. Oh, so let's take a look, right? TMZ has filed an emergency motion to block its former reporter from testifying for Johnny Depp, right? So this is the headline, and it's a massive headline as well. And also, just as a quick aside, ladies and gents, please do hit subscribe, give the video a like, and please do share it. If you want to check out other things I do, there's a whole range of stuff I do here on this channel, from movie news, movie reviews, commentary, such as, obviously, I've been covering this Depp trial, haven't I? So commentary on stuff like this as well. But I also have a second channel, which you'll find linked in the description box, which is like a vlog/car channel. I know some people might like it, some people might not, but it's worth saying, isn't it? Anyway, it's free content at the end of the day. So let's dive into this. So obviously the celebrity tabloid TMZ filed an emergency motion to block testimony by its former reporter who appeared on Johnny Depp's list of anticipated witnesses for today, because today is Wednesday. The other individual on there is Kate Moss, which is huge, because of course we now know that she's going to testify that no, Johnny Depp never pushed her, and that's going to be clear-cut on the record. No one can ever say it again. No one can ever say it again, right? So we know that that's obviously what's going to happen. And I think that's going to be fantastic. I mean, it removes any claim of that ever happening again for Johnny Depp, and that's great. So journalists' promise of confidentiality are vital to reporting the news, TMZ's attorneys wrote in a 7-page motion, which I'll leave this article linked down below. This is just lawandcrime.com. I did have the documents sent to me, like screenshots and stuff. It's not really any point putting them up on the screen, because we're just going to give you the main points here anyway. But if you do want to check it out, the article will be linked down below. So they say journalists' promises of confidentiality are vital to report on the news. That's why the law strongly protects the ability of journalists to keep their promises. The court should permit TMZ to keep promises it made here. The law doesn't have to uphold what TMZ promised, right? If that was the case, then the law would be upholding the fact that, Amber Heard promised to donate money to charity. It's just a nonsense comment to make. Absolutely nonsense comment to make. Well, we promised this, so the law should help us. No, not when the subject of the court that you're applying the motion for inherently intrinsically linked directly to you hiding who showed you this and who did this and etc. No, we shouldn't uphold the promises there if there's $50 to $100 million on the line, and also someone's reputation, their life. That's disgraceful. If we're going to show unethical behavior and essentially perjury as well, no, you should not be kept to your promises. Now, Morgan Tremaine, formerly of Celebrity Tabloid, appeared on a list of anticipated witnesses before Depp's rebuttal case began on Tuesday, and in the actor's defamation suit against ex-wife Amber Heard. With this motion, TMZ seeks a protective order precluding plaintiff from eliciting or Mr. Tremaine from disclosing TMZ's privileged information during the testimony. The emergency motion states, TMZ is uncertain whether Mr. Tremaine is appearing pursuant to a trial subpoena. If he is, TMZ likewise requests that the court quash the subpoena. They're basically going, please, pretty please, please, don't screw us. Known for and this would have come from Amber Heard's side as well. Known for celebrity-related exclusives, and they first got wind, Betty White's death, blah blah blah. TMZ says in the motion that they got unpleasantly scooped on Tremaine's anticipated testimony by Radar Online. According to the Radar Online report, Depp plans to elicit testimony from Mr. Tremaine regarding TMZ's confidential source in an effort to impeach the credibility of Heard. Yeah. And that's why this absolutely should go ahead. Because if she's lying to the court, why would the court allow them to continue the lie? Mr. Tremaine was a field assignment manager with TMZ at the time the article was published, but no longer works for the company. So, during her testimony, she denied leaking a video of Depp yelling at her to TMZ, which claims that Tremaine has no knowledge about the source of the footage. Then why are you so scared? Depp and Heard's trial has been taking place, blah blah blah. Now they say this, Virginia courts recognise a privilege rooted in the First Amendment, protecting the relationship between journalists and their confidential sources, and preventing those confidential sources from being outed in discovery or at trial, the motion states. So does California law. TMZ notes, describing the Golden State as the site of their original news gathering. The website notes that the evidence that Depp seeks would not appear to advance his defamation case, but it would go... No, actually I think it would. You know what? I think that's a nonsense claim. I think it would, because if she's lying on the stand, it removes all credibility of her as a witness. So no, it absolutely does. Other than to attempt to undermine Heard's credibility. Yeah, exactly. The point is, I mean, that is important, right? Here it appears that plaintiff seeks TMZ's confidential source information purely for purposes of impeaching the credibility of defendant, and not because the information has anything directly to do with the elements of the underlying defamation case. Well, it does though. The thing is, and what people, what you need to understand and appreciate about this entire situation is ultimately, if she has, and she's shown to have leaked this information directly to TMZ, then it shows what Adam Waldman had been stating, what other people have been stating, that it was a coordinated attack, a hoax, something which was fabricated, a long list of evidence put together, very specifically calculated in that manner. Loads of people keep claiming that he's destroyed the kitchen. Those were doors, cabinet doors with glass in them, and he slammed them. Nothing smashed. He didn't destroy anything, right? Nothing was destroyed. You've never been angry? You've never hit something? You've never, taken any anger out on an inanimate object? Really? Behave. Again, we're all human. The thing is, when you acknowledge those faults, you become more credible and authentic to the jury, and that's what Depp has done. So this is just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. It should be shown in court. So anyway, goes further, says, as noted, an effort to obtain impeachment evidence for its own sake is insufficient to overcome the privilege, and the question of who provided a leaked tape to TMZ is irrelevant to the elements of defamation. No, I disagree, because there's a counterclaim. There's a counterclaim. And if and again, it goes back to that coordinated attack. There's a counterclaim for defamation, libel, etc. But if she's leaking stuff purposely, that falls apart as well. So the identity of TMZ's source has no bearing on whether, for example, the statements plaintiff is challenging are substantially true, or whether the defendant acted with the requisite degree of fault. So Depp's lawsuit, blah blah blah. We know all about this. So it's all here as well. This is the stuff which you can take a look at. Like it's a fair amount of stuff. Like I said, there's no point showing it. I can't wait to see Kate Moss testify as well. I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. Can you imagine Amber Heard, the most famous model in the entire world, that has been like the most recognisable name in modelling, Kate Moss, right? That's what she is. Testifying on the stand, you're full of shit. Because that's what she's going to do. Gold. Absolute gold. So anyway, let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Again, check the link to this website down below if you want to check out those court records. The motion, but it's not that interesting. I just will advise it's not that interesting. Anyway, cheers. Take care.